Hey guys, and welcome to this episode of Cake. Today we're not making a cake at all, we're gonna make a pie, a Thanksgiving pie. So today we're making a pie. I love apple pie, and I love pies in general, and I don't make them often, and I really should because they're just so delicious. So I follow this girl on Instagram called The Pious. If you don't follow her already, you have to go follow her. She is incredible. She makes it look so seamless and so flawless, and I love her work. So I thought I'd give it a go because she gave me such great inspiration, and here was my best shot. I don't do this often, but I thought it turned out pretty good. Not to mention, I had some help. In case you don't notice, there's multiple hands in this video. My cousins came over and we just had a fun baking day, and I thought I'd videotape it at the same time. So you'll see some pretty hands in the video that are clearly not mine. Her beautiful nails, that's my cousin Sacha, and my cousin Zaib came over and helped me. And you'll even see my husband's hands in there maybe once or twice. So we had a great time making this cake, and it tasted great too. So the first thing we did was get about 8 apples and peeled and cut them all up into small little pieces. One thing I would change for this pie is that I would add even more apples. I don't think there was enough for the size of my baking pan. So just keep an eye on the size of the pie that you're making and fill it up accordingly. Then to the apples we added 50 grams of brown sugar, 50 grams of white sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Mix it until well incorporated. Then we let it rest at room temperature for about 1 hour. For the crust, I added 350 grams of plain all-purpose flour, 226 grams of unsalted butter. Then we put it into the food processor until you get coarse crumbs like this. I added half a teaspoon of salt and about 6 to 8 tablespoons of cold water. Then you pulse it again a few times until it starts to come together like this. Then you transfer it onto a clean tabletop, and with your hands bring it together and pat it into a ball shape. Once it comes together, cut them in half and wrap each half into cellophane wrap and put it in the fridge for half an hour to an hour. Once the apples have been sitting out for about an hour, we drained all the liquid into another pot and separated the apples. Then we transferred all the juices into a small pot and added 2 tablespoons of butter. Then put it over low to medium heat until all the butter is melted and it thickens and caramelizes. To the apples, we added 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and mixed it until well incorporated. So we actually ended up using a Pillsbury pie crust for the bottom of this pie because we were making little mini pies on the side for us to eat because we were having a baking day. So I didn't have enough pie crust, so we used a Pillsbury pie crust for the bottom of the pie and our homemade pie crust for the top of the pie. But you can see here that it doesn't go all the way up the sides. If I was using homemade, I would make sure that the pie crust went all the way up to the rim of the pie pan. Then I used my fork and made small little holes all over the bottom of the pie crust. Add all of the apples and add the applesauce right to the top. I would have added more apples if I had realized my pan was a little bit bigger. Now to make the fun part, it's actually super simple to decorate a pie. All you have to do is roll out your pie crust and decorate it however you'd like. You can actually bake it right onto the pie when you're baking your pie, or you can bake the top separately and put it on top afterwards, which is what I did. You are more than welcome to make a stencil and trace it out here, which is what the pious does when she's making her characters. But because I was making a tree, I really just freehand it and made some branches and leaves wherever I felt needed it. Okay, we then added some little leaves made out of pie crust all over the tree, and I made some lines into the tree to make it look more tree-like. Then we used some egg wash to brush all over the tree, and I used vanilla into the creases of the tree to make it look a little bit more brown. Thanksgiving for me is such a great memory because last year on the Canadian Thanksgiving, not American Thanksgiving, we told my family that I was pregnant and it was so much fun. I had a shirt that said, "This turkey takes 9 months to cook." And then this year, my little guy was with us and he was almost 6 months old. I can't believe how fast time flies and how many things change in 1 year. Wow, but it was such a great Thanksgiving. We had our Thanksgiving in October, but happy Thanksgiving to all you Americans. Hope you guys have a great, great weekend. For the leaf colors, I used that same vanilla, which is a little bit brown, and added a little bit of food coloring in red, orange, and yellow to make the colors of the leaves. Don't add too much food coloring or your pie will start to taste like food coloring. Then for the background of the sky, I did the exact same thing. I rolled out a circle the size of my pan and mixed some blue food coloring with the vanilla and painted the entire back. You could definitely leave out the blue base of the pie. I just wanted to add it because I really like crust on my pie, and so I wanted more crust rather than less crust, but you could just put the tree directly onto the pie and use that. And if you had a blueberry pie or something with a darker background, it would look even nicer. And it would just look like sky in the back. Then we made some bigger leaves and added them all around the edges and painted them the same way. Then we added the tree to the blue background. Then we baked our pie for about 50 to 60 minutes, and then we baked the top of our pie for about half an hour. Once you take them out of the oven, move the top to the pie as carefully as possible. I thought it turned out pretty cute. Me, Sacha, Zaib, and Harbir had a great time making this pie and it tasted amazing. We will definitely be making more pies in the future. If you guys have any suggestions on what I should be making for pies or cakes, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, guys. Bye.